What's up, Machine Timmers here. Since I'm doing my top 10 favorite horror films of each year, it is time for the 1990s turn. So here are my official top 10 horror films of the year 1990. There were some pretty good ones here, so here are my official top 10. Alright, number 10. Now, even though I really enjoy this, the only reason it's a little lower is because due to the fact it's mostly a miniseries, not a movie. That's the only reason it's actually a little lower on this list. But that's, of course, Stephen King's It. Now, of course, it is about the Pennywise clown. Like before, obviously, Bill Skarsgård came into the role of Pennywise. There was the great Tim Curry as Pennywise. You know what? Bill Skarsgård was a great Pennywise. Don't get me wrong. I still think the best Pennywise will always be Tim Curry. I used to always watch this tons of times as a kid. Probably when I wasn't supposed to be watching these type of stuff, but it is still a really good one. It is just as creepy as ever. That clown always creeps me out here. You do got like the likes of John Ritter was also in this, Seth Green, Harry Anderson, some good cast members. I mean, that original It is always one of the best, and who doesn't love the original It? Alright, coming in at number 9 is Braindead. Now, Braindead is a horror film about a neurosurgeon who is coerced to experiment on a corporate whistleblower's brain, unleashing like surreal horrors and all. And this is a really messed up film throughout. You do got like Bill Pullman was in this, Bill Paxton, a really decent like body horror type film. It is a really creepy one there. All right, number 8 is Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder, of course, was directed by Adrian Lyne, who at the time was best known for directing Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct, and obviously he ventured into the horror aspects of this one. You even had a young Macaulay Culkin, and this was actually the same year that Home Alone came out, so pretty cool year for Macaulay Culkin there. You also had you also do have Tim Robbins. And here, of course, it's about a Vietnam War veteran who struggles with hallucinations and fragment memories, and unsure if he's like losing his mind and all. This is a really interesting psychological horror thriller. Tim Robbins, obviously before Shawshank Redemption fame, he was great in this one. The late Elizabeth Pena, the late Danny Aiello was also in this. Had some really good cast members. Adrian Lyne definitely knows his way around like psychological thrillers here. Alright, number 7 is Nightbreed. Now, Nightbreed is based on a book by Clive Barker, and of course, this was directed by Clive Barker as well. It's about a man who like discovers he's part of a hidden race of monstrous creatures living in secret society of a maiden. Here, Anne is pursued by a psychotic psychiatrist and vengeful ex-girlfriend. Nightbreed is really creepy throughout. You even got David Cronenberg in this one as well. Craig Schaefer plays the lead in this. I never really read like Clive Barker stories, but I have seen Clive Barker adaptations like Hellraiser, Nightbreed. Hellraiser will always be the best Clive Barker adaptation, but this is definitely also up there, and it's a really good, creepy horror film right there. Number 6 is Flatliners. Directed by Joe Schumacher, starring Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, Kevin Bacon, William Baldwin. And it's about medical students who experiment with near-death experiences by stopping their hearts. And, of course, they did do a remake of this back in 2017 with Elliot Page, which the remake is so good. But the original is really decent. Definitely has a little bit of like the that Frankenstein feel to it. Obviously, they're trying to reckless pursuit in the afterlife, unleashes supernatural consequences, and all. Definitely has a little bit of like that Pet Cemetery feel to it. Sometimes dead is better, but yeah, Flatliners is a really it's more sci-fi than straight up horror, but it definitely has horror elements. Of course, good cast. You got Julia Roberts, Kevin Bacon. Really amazing cast right there. All right, number 5 is Arachnophobia. Now, this is directed by Frank Marshall and stars Jeff Daniels, and of course is about killer ants. Oh no, not killer ants, killer spiders. My bad. about a small town who faces an infection of deadly exotic spiders that accidentally unleash the from South America. And this is definitely one for the arachnophobia people. It will make you pretty terrified of spiders. Jeff Daniels, John Goodman was also in this. Julian Sands. You had some good cast members in this one. It is actually PG-13, but it gets really gruesome for a PG-13 movie at times. And yeah, I mean, I've always was an arachnophobia guy. I mean, there was A Leg of Freaks, which was okay, but nothing beats arachnophobia. All right, number four is Tremors. Speaking of Kevin Bacon, Tremors, of course, is about residents of a small desert town who discovers giant man-eating worms called graboids and must outwit them to survive. And this, of course, blends like horror, comedy. You do got the aforementioned Kevin Bacon, Reba McEntire was even in this one, Finn Carter, Micah Gross, the late Fred Ward. It definitely is very fun. Has a little bit of like that Jurassic Park feel, but with worms in it. And it's really, it's not really as creepy. Like it's not more action than straight up horror, really. But yeah, I've always liked the effects of the worms here. It always looked interesting. Hopefully, we'll get another Tremors down the line, but who knows? All right, number three is Graveyard Shift. Now, Graveyard Shift is another adaptation of a Stephen King tale. And it's where a drifter who takes a job at a rat-infested Taxel mill in Maine, uncovering a monstrous creature lurking in the basement that threatens the workers here. And this is a really also a creepy one. I mean, not like one of Stephen King's best adaptations, but it's definitely a really decent one there. Of course, you got Chucky himself. Brad Dourif is in this one. I mean, it's pretty messed up at times, pretty creepy. It's been a while since I've seen it, I bet, but I used to really get a kick out of this one. All right, number two is Child's Play 2. To me, I think this is better than the original. I always get a kick out of Child's Play 2. This time around, you got Chucky, who is you know, who is in pursuit of Andy Barkley, who obviously is now in a foster home here, and of course, you do got Andy's Andy's foster sister Kyle, who they are a really cool team here. I mean, I think it's actually Kyle's the reason why Child's Play 2 is much better than the original. Like, she really steals so many scenes here. I always love some of the kills involved, like the toy towards the ending with the toy factory scene is always so iconic to me. I just always get kicked out of Child's Play 2. I always watch it every time I get a chance to, and it's a great one. And obviously, I love the Chucky movies in general. All right. And number one is another Stephen King adaptation, and this is Misery. I guess you could say it's more suspenseful than straight up horror, but definitely is more horror than suspense. Now, of course, this movie won Kathy Bates her Oscar, directed by Rob Reiner, starring James Caan as novelist Paul Sheldon, who is rescued from a car crash by his fan Annie Wilkes, who holds him captive in her remote home. And the man he rewrites his latest book to her liking here, and it is of course a thriller about fandom turning deadly here. And James Caan, Kathy Bates are both great in this one. Richard Farnsworth as the sheriff of Buster is great. His death scene is really iconic there. I mean, yeah, of course, Misery has some of the most iconic moments, like one of the most messed up moments, like most intense moments I've seen in a movie is obviously when Sheldon's bedridden, and of course, Annie Wilkes hits his leg. That always is so intense at time. Every time you watch this thing, that scene always gets really intense there. But yeah, Misery I think is one of the best Stephen King adaptations. To me, it's one of Rob Reiner's best work. It's such a good one. Really, Kathy Bates plays the creepiness perfectly here. James Caan is great. I mean, it's just such a good one. But that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, Stephen King's It. 9, Brain Dead. 8, Jacob's Ladder. 7, Nightbreed. 6, Flatliners. 5, Arachnophobia. 4, Tremors. 3, Graveyard Shift. 2, Child's Play 2. And number 1 is Misery. And there are a few other ones I could have added. Exodus 3 is okay. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw 3, there was that too. Psycho, The Beginning. Let's see. Tales from the Dark Side, Night of the Living Dead. Darkman, Grandma's Shoe is another good one. I actually like Grandma's Shoe, but didn't love it as much as the first, to be honest. Predator 2, of course. I mean, there's some good horror films that came out that year. But let me ask you guys, what are some of your favorite horror films of the year 1990? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is